So this is my betting speed with pick block. Then this is my betting speed without pick block. And I will go into a few matches and I'll explain more about this during those matches. Okay, getting into our first match. So the thing about pick block is that in the version in version 1.21.4, Minecraft swapped from using NBT data for storing items to what you see now, which is components. The swap to components made pick block have to go through and process extra data because NBTs would only have a few pieces of data at once that they would have to look at. But components, with having so many different components per item, it takes pick block that much longer to actually go through and decide, is this the same item that I'm looking at? Because how pick block works is it goes through the server and asks, hey, is the item this player is holding the same as the item or the block that's on the ground? And then the server will send back yes or no. This is also why pick block is worse on high ping, because it takes the server longer to respond and longer to actually get the question from the client. So overall, pick block is just much slower than it used to be. You can see that when I play without pick block later, you'll see how much faster I'm able to bed without having to wait for pick block to load, and it's just generally going to be faster. And this also gets rid of the downside with pick block of actually messing up your pick block and pick blocking per se, like endstone. Like I think Hootie right now is pick blocking endstone a lot of the time, and that's making him make mistakes, and then that ultimately causes him to lose a totem or two or even die. So going into the next match here, still using pick block. Now we are gonna go in. Yes, there is still the advantage of you don't have to open your inventory, but with how slow pick block is now, it's just generally worse to not open your inventory. Your inventory is all client side. You can move the beds from your inventory to your hotbar, and it'll be as fast as it can be. But pick block just adds extra delay, like even more so now than before, and it's way too much at especially higher levels. And it used to be worth it to do pick block, but it just is not anymore. Like that voice crack, bro. I'm 18. Why am I having voice cracks at 18? Okay. Now I'm gonna swap to not using pick block, and you're gonna see how much faster I'm betting with this. Like, I won't be able to do some certain pick block specific mechanics anymore. I won't be able to continuously bet him, but I'll be able to bet him so much faster. And that could be the difference, because he's gonna have to re-totem after my beds. Then with that, I'm just gonna keep betting him and betting him. See, like, I'm already starting to do way better against him because I'm not using pick block anymore. Because the delay is just so much less. There's virtually no delay. You can actually explode the bed before the server even registers it's there. And you can actually use that to your advantage on high ping. If you just constantly place beds, even if the bed is still there on your screen, but if you've clicked it already to explode, just don't care about it. Just go on to your next bed and start placing that, and it'll just keep going. And after your first bed, if you're on high ping, it'll just feel like you're on low ping. You just have to play slightly differently, and then because of that, you will be betting much faster on high ping. We're just gonna go in here more. Hoodie's actually doing pretty well. I got Hoodie was using pickpock before this, and he didn't know it was bad also now, but he's using it now. Yeah, so there we go. So Hoodie is actually doing a little bit better than he was last video. Okay, I'll go in. Also, I'm using my high tick here, my high kit. Oh, I'm using my. Also, I'm using my. Also, with my not picklock kit, I tend to not use a sword in high tier kit. In low tier kits, I also don't usually. I just don't really use the sword that much anymore. But I know there's people that definitely do, such as like, I can't think of anyone specific, but I know there's been tier 1s recently that have used swords. So it's not bad to use it. I would just say with my playstyle, I don't like it. Okay. There we go. Okay, we're gonna go in more. And we both die there. That's okay. Wow, Hoodie's actually doing pretty well now that it's not using pickpock. Oh, and he killed himself. Okay, and we're gonna keep going in, keep pressuring. The more you pressure, the better. So you just keep pressuring over and over. They will eventually just run out of what to do, and they'll mess up their inventory. They'll mess up, if they're using picklock, they'll mess up their picklock. They'll just keep messing up the more pressure you put on. But if you need to, you can also stop putting pressure on and get to safety. You don't want to put pressure on if you're going to die doing it. Just keep going in here. There we go. Okay. Now I'm gonna keep going in more, keep pressuring, stay above ground. Above ground is almost always better than PvP. There we go. Okay. Now I'm gonna keep going in. Just gonna keep pressuring. I'm gonna pearl in here, while I'm pearling, I'm just spamming my place bed, and I'm just spamming my right click. So as soon as it lands, and before I even realize it land, the bed is already placed and exploded, and he just gets exploded that much faster. They don't get as much time to react. It's generally what you should be doing if you're pearling into someone. You need to be just spamming beds as soon as you pearl. Like, you don't want to be spamming the ground where you looking before them, but You want to be doing it as long as you're not exploding the ground you're at before you actually pearl. Okay, there we go.